Hey guys, it's Shane with Accessory Performance. We finally got some nice weather here in Indiana that is on a weekend, so we're taking advantage of it and getting the bike out. So I thought I would show you what I built last year. I've been primarily a sport bike rider and drag racer all my life, but in the car world I love the audio, and with the way the audio motorcycles have come along, I ended up wanting to build me a bagger, and so this is what I built. Alright, so this is my 2003. It originally started out as an Ultra Classic, but as you can see, I have stripped it down pretty much. I don't know, it's hard to explain all the stuff I've done to this bike because the way it looked when I got it is just totally different. But the main thing I wanted this bike for was to just cruise around on and not have my girlfriend crunching my forearms and wrists on my sport bikes. But it's just turned into something I really enjoy a lot more than I expected. But I built it for a stereo bike, and as you can see, we went all out. We got the diamond audio, everything, top of the line, horn tweeters, the 6.5s. We got the upgraded Metro dash kit to allow a doubled in head unit, and then I went with the bag lid cut-ins that allowed me to run the diamond audio 6x9s as well back here. So, and then we have a diamond audio amplifier and a Rockford Fosgate digital signal processor. Bike, when I got the bike, it was green and purple. It was an anniversary. They made 100 of them. But I knew exactly what I was going to do with it when I got it. These are the stock bags as of right now, but I am looking at stretched and lowered bags at the moment. We've got a head or the tail light combination unit, so it has the tail light and the turn signals, everything are built into that light. We have a new seat, repainted all the bodywork. The motor is a cammed and stroked jugs, so it's a bigger motor. It started out as an 88, now it's a 96, and then it's got Bubba pipes on it, Bub 7 actually, and then it had a 21-inch wheel conversion. I stripped all the turn signals off of it like on the back, and we have these that take the place. These are just a LED bar that light up. Blacked out the forks, blacked out the headlights, rebarred it, repainted everything again. Okay, we got the 14-inch bars. The 14-inch bars, we got new grips, new levers. We de-chromed all the controls, ran the wires through the bars with no modification, as a matter of fact. Just depinned the wiring harness and fed it through, and it just barely reached, but it reached. So you can do 14-inch bars with the stock wiring harness, at least on a 2014. We got new shift levers, and again, like I said, just basically in the process of blacking it out. I think what's going to end up happening is we'll see a single-sided pipe. I know we're going to get longer bags and a new rear fender. I'm actually looking at which one I'm going to get on that, and then this bike will probably go on the back burner for a while and just be enjoyed. It wasn't meant to be some crazy custom bike. It was just meant to be riding and having fun with. Alright, so that tells you a little bit about what we're doing here. The S22 is my phone that I'm using to record this video with. So clearly there's no wires. So basically I'm using a car product on my motorcycle in order to have wireless Android Auto. That way I can have my GPS and all that good stuff on the TV on my bike, but not have to have a cord to it, so I can just keep it in my pocket as I ride. Take it from a guy who has lost a cell phone off his bike that was $1,200 or more. Last thing you want to do is watch that thing get ran over and be turned into crumbles. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm using a car product right now while the motorcycle market catches up. I'll thank COVID for making that not possible right now. But what we're using is the Metra kit on this bike, because obviously this bike is older and it had a single DIN unit, and obviously a single DIN unit does not have the bells and whistles that I was wanting for when we're talking about building a stereo bike. And that's what I bought this thing for, was to make it a stereo bike. So, you know, it just wasn't going to cut it with a single DIN. So upgraded it to the Metra dash kit, which would also allow me to run the 6.5 speakers that I was wanting to run. Okay, we're running the Diamond Audio 6.5 mid-ranges, as well as the horn tweeters. Okay, these things are absolutely obnoxious. I mean, I'm telling you, you can be 200 feet away from this bike and still hear it clear as day. So from the head unit, we're running a DSP into the Diamond Audio amplifier, and then to the speakers. Like I said, in the front we got the 6.5-inch mid-range. They're the Pro, I can't remember the exact model number, and then we got the Diamond Audio horn tweeters. Okay, and then we've got these bag lids, which are made specifically for this bike. So these bag lids are a pretty trick, because this bike didn't even have speakers in the lids, but this allows for a 6.5-inch. And in this case, we're running the MP694. Okay, so what that's going to do is going to give you separate mids from your tweeter. That way your DSP can separate those signals into the proper speaker. Okay, and that makes all the difference when you're running this much power to those speakers. So these are actually a coax speaker, whereas in the front we have 2 speakers, but we have a custom grill that's holding the tweeter in front of the mid-range. This actually has the tweeter installed. So with most of these installs, you're going to see some kind of crossover network involved. And that's the one thing about running a DSP, is that you have the ability to control exact signal to exactly the speaker that you want it to go to. So the tweeters, you run a high pass filter, all they see is whatever point that you send to it. The mid-range, if you typically just run a crossover, that's going to keep that mid-range from seeing bass, but it's still going to see all that high frequency that should be getting to the tweeter. That's still going to be going to your mid-range. Okay, but when you have a DSP, you get the best of both worlds, because you can set a crossover point at wherever you want. So this speaker, I think in this case, only sees like 85 hertz or whatever it is. Okay, but you also have a cutoff point to where it doesn't play above its intended range. And that is why when you have a DSP, your bike, you can push the speaker even more, because you are only sending the signal to it that it's designed to play. In this case, so we've got custom harnesses made. I'm not running the bags that I know I'm going to be running, because these are stock lower portions of the bags for the bike. And what I intend to do is I intend to have stretched lower bags. So I left some room, and I just coiled my harness around here. But what you can see on this side, okay, this is a full waterproof connection made for the gauge of speaker wire that I ran, which is very heavy to handle the power. So basically I can disconnect my bag from the bike, take it off for service, and unplug my speaker. Okay, and that's the whole purpose behind that plug right there. Okay, so at the end of the day, I'm not going to bore you with some YouTube friendly music that won't demonetize this video. If you want to see how loud this thing is, all you have to do is watch some of my shorts. In those videos, I don't worry about it. But in these videos, I want to be able to not be demonetized. So, like I said, just watch the shorts if you want to see what it sounds like. I mean, you can't get 100 feet away from this bike and not hear it. 200 feet. I mean, I've walked as far away as the video could see the bike, and you can still hear it, like every note, every nuance of the music. You cannot beat this Diamond Audio stuff. One of my favorite things I bought for this bike, yeah, this key is freaking rad. All right, so that's it. That's my Harley. That's the bike I built to take to the Harley rallies and bike events around town. But it's gorgeous out, and so this thing was built to ride. So that's what I'm gonna go do. You guys be careful. Have a good weekend. Hit the like and subscribe buttons for me, and we'll see you next time.